But let's turn now to the plan for 11 and 12. We don't do these plans to show how accurately we can predict the future. We can't. But rather, we do it to evaluate the impact of decisions. And some decisions affect more than 1 year, such as a 3-year collective bargaining agreement or capital investment. And what we look for is shifts or trends that are going to change things. This year, the big shift we're seeing is the lack of growth in state aid. Because many times trying to deal with those shifts is going to take us through more than one budget year. Following are our assumptions for this year. No increase in state aid, no increase in excise tax. Reserve use at $2 million a year, half of that for capital, and expense growth at 3% a year, and property taxes increase at 2.5%. Now, I'd ask you to take a look at page 18 in your warrant. This is the fiscal year, the detailed fiscal year plan for 11 and 12. I just want you to see it. Rather than go through it line by line, which I'm sure you don't want me to do, I'll tell you what the expected results are. Maybe I don't have that one. I'll read them to you. No Proposition 2.5 overrides, no cuts in services, maintains at least $3 million in reserves, and the single-family tax increases 2.3% a year. So the upsides and downsides on this one, like the budget, pretty much the same factors: state aid, federal stimulus, and cost savings. Now, the impact of cost savings initiatives is important in this plan. And we have a list of ideas that we've accumulated from many sources. And they run the gamut from sweeping changes in compensation and benefits, greater use of regionalization, to things as simple as turning down thermostats, turning off computers and lights, and many, many things in between. The lists have been sent to the town and school management, and some of these ideas are already in place. Some of these ideas are not legal. I know. And some we are able to pursue, and we'll be pursuing them in the next 60 days. But the items with a larger payback involve negotiations with our unions, negotiations with other towns, process redesign, reorganization, and even changes in legislation as it pertains to health insurance. Now, we'll be working over the next 180 days to analyze these, quantify the savings, and develop implementation plans. But any benefit of these upsides, whether from stimulus or cost savings, over and above those needed to balance our budgets in this period, would be used to replenish reserves. We know the economic problems will not be over in FY10. We have started taking the necessary steps to ensure that our education and town services are maintained at a high level without resorting to painful cuts or overrides of Proposition 2.5. In conclusion, for FY09, our expenses will be under budget, perhaps as much as $250,000. For FY10, our reductions in revenue growth have been matched with reductions in expense growth. And for FY11 and 12, our growth in revenue and our growth in expenses are in balance. Thank you very much.